You're now tuned into the Lady Charmaine live show, and this is Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine, and we got a great show for you today. And today, right now, what I want you to do is just take this show, and all you have to do is share it onto your page to make sure that you and your friends join in on the conversation. And here is the number, because we want you to call in live today. The number is 916-226-9226. So if you want to chime in, all you have to do is give us a telephone call right there. Let us know your name and where you're calling from. And if you're viewing live right now on Facebook, just type in your name and let us know where you're viewing from, because we want to say hello to you. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, straight from the Hollywood headlines, we're going to be talking about Mr. Colin Kaepernick, him and that deal with Nike, just do it. Hats off to Nike. Also, we're going to be talking about the Bobby Brown story. Should you kiss and tell? Should celebrities kiss and tell? Why do they kiss and tell? Is it just to make money at the expense of someone else? Plus, we're going to be talking about the Aretha Franklin viral video that got her family all upset. Should we, as the public, respect the family's wishes when it comes to photos and not take them and share them? Or should we share them because they were a public figure? We're going to talk about that. Plus, former Cosby star caught working at Trader Joe's. We're going to be talking about job shaming. Should actors still have in-between jobs to make some coins, or does it matter what job they have while they're working in between auditions? We're going to be talking about all that and more coming up right now on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. And we are back. Let me open my mic. And we are back. It's Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. And again, do not forget to like and share this particular page, because we want to make sure that all of you guys are able to join in on the conversation. But I want to invite some of my friends. They're my co-hosts. They go by the name of Mr. Joseph Bassett. Also, my girl, Miss Marie Hutchison. And then we have the hair hustler. He goes by the name of Mr. Derek Dennis. He is the hair hustler. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good. Y'all ready for a great show?
Yeah,
let's go.
All right. She said, yeah, let's go. Now, there's been a whole lot that's been going on here in what we call dear old Hollywood that's been happening. But first, I got to give a huge shout out again, like I said, to the Nike family again, for my boy, Mr. Colin Kaepernick. I'm just really excited about that. But here's one of my questions, though. Okay, they gave him a deal. It's the 30 year of Just Do It. And Colin Kaepernick is the face of Just Do It. And there's been a whole lot of controversy over Colin Kaepernick, and I was talking to my husband about this, and I'm just really excited.
Okay.
And see, I'm not really a Nike wearer, but I'm going to go buy some Nikes just because of what y'all did for Colin. I'm going to go get me some Nikes. I might get me 2 pair. Give me 2 pair.
With some socks, bro, and a beanie.
Okay.
I'm about to fit it up.
Just because for all those that are out there burning your Nike gear, where Nike already got your money, so burn on, boo. They already got your money. They already got it. But I was talking to my husband about it, and you were saying some really, really good comments regarding Colin Kaepernick and what he was actually standing for. And I want you to share that again, babe, because it was good.
It's just sometimes we lose track of the fact of why he's kneeling or why it started to begin with.
Right.
And if we were to pay as much attention to the fact of why he did it, because of the police brutality, because there's still black men and women being killed by the police, and the injustices that we face as black people by the hands of officers and those in authority. If we were to spend as much time dealing with that issue as we are trying to point and to redirect towards not loving this country and not, dishonoring the flag and dishonoring veterans, that's not the point. Nope. And so we spend so much time redirecting it. We're not really focused on the issue, and the issue is still happening. Absolutely. It's still happening, and it is frustrating when people try to redirect and not really deal with the issue, what he's dealing with, what he's taking that knee for. And so, I applaud Nike. I applaud, Colin, for just being able to stick with it and still do it. And, you got everybody tweeting and the president cheating stuff. And it's just an issue that again, if we focus on the issue at hand and deal with that, I think that's what it's all for. That's what it's all for.
Absolutely, absolutely, Derek.
Period. Well, with me, I'm for the movement. When he did that, it changed the dynamics of what I believed in for the Black Lives Matter movement and just our people in a whole, with not only police brutality but us killing each other as well.
Yeah.
I think it just brought up the conversation for everything. I'm so here for the movement, and I think that Colin Kaepernick is amazing as much as he sacrificed, because he did have a family to feed, and that first year when they let him go, like, he took a lot of L's, and so we don't even know how many L's he took in his own personal life.
Correct.
So I just feel like he sacrificed a lot and made a stand that I don't even think that he knew the repercussion of it. He knew how much momentum this would bring, but I don't think that he knew the repercussion of it, and then how much discord that it caused the nation.
Right.
Not only the president, but just us as a whole, us people, everyday people. That's co-workers that you may have that's a different race. You feel the tension. You feel the conversation when they agree with it, because let's be honest, most white people are going with the patriotic thing, like he's not right for this. This is our flag, and this is what people fall for. But black people and brown people are fighting for the injustice that's happening on the streets by the police officers that 80% are protecting you and killing us. Right. So I think I'm here for the movement, and whatever, like ladies said, I'm an Adidas and Nike dude, but more Adidas, but I'm gonna get me some more Nike.
Yeah, I think he did know the severity of what he would do because he stuck with it. I think if he didn't know, it would have faded off into the distance like everything else does. But I think for me, the reason you were talking about how it switched over from what the real reason why he was kneeling to this other thing about the flag and the veterans, that's the setup. That's just how this country does things, especially when it comes to us as African Americans. This is totally my opinion. But just like when Black Lives Matter came out, all lives matter. But we all knew that what we were saying about Black lives, you guys know the injustice that you're giving us.
Right.
So all that distraction, trying to deter you from the truth of what's happening, and he stuck with it. And that's one thing about him that I like, that he stuck, even though it got hot and it got ugly and it did what it did, he still stuck with it.
Right.
And I totally respect that. Because he could have just backed out, you know what I'm saying? Could have just let them have it. But he still stuck to the original reason to why he did it.
But you know what I say? I want to say kudos to his village. The people that we didn't see that supported him through this. The names that we have no idea.
Right.
You know, his girlfriend, his parents, maybe his agents, all those that support. Because, it's hard to take a stand just by yourself. So he had to have some others that were supporting him through this on those down days, through those days of depression when they're running his name through the mud. And then you have the leader of the free world, you know what I mean, talking about you. And then you have other football players that were supporting you as well. But then, you in the forefront, they blocking you. Let's just thank God for his village that supported him.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
That's
I'm not gonna lie, lady. I did in the beginning, because he was having problems with the 49ers. Let's be honest. He was going through a lot. And so at first, a lot of people thought, okay, well, is this really about you and all the drama you've been going through, and you just using the Black Lives or police brutality? This was a aha moment for you. I had to really figure that out through myself and figure out, okay, what is this really for me personally? And then I figured it out, and I understood what he was doing. And when I say that, I feel like, too, like how you said, we don't even know half of the discord, like you said, with the players. That's a brotherhood. You play football, basketball, that's a brotherhood. And for you to really not kneel with me, we're going to have that conversation. And it's going to cause conflict in the locker room. It's going to cause conflict we haven't even heard of.
And see, that's why a lot of NFL teams don't want him on the team. They don't want the conflict. They don't want the unnecessary press and the discord, because they're not seeing him as a starter. So should we have a second string have all this attention and cause all this division, because the players are divided. They're not. You got some on the team that understand, some that are against. You got a lot of the owners are saying,
coaches,
they're trying to make laws and trying to have rules now, want them to stay inside, the locker room until the national anthem is played out. So at least they're not dealing dealing with it. So
Exactly.
it's causing a lot of discussion and discord among the teams. That's why a lot of teams, and Colin currently has a lawsuit against the owners for blackmailing them, basically shutting them out. But it takes a company like Nike, a company that's big and multi-billion and powerful, to get
Everybody
behind
like
him
that.
now
Yeah.
and say, you know what, we recognize that sometimes you're going to have to lose some things, but you're standing up for what you believe. And when you have a company like that, and they've been in contract with
Forever,
Colin
ever.
since 2011,
Exactly.
so they didn't drop him.
Exactly.
They didn't take his hands off of him, but now they're putting them even in the forefront, even the more. And I think, I mean, that you need that backing to continue.
What do you think
that
that when
PR
you look at
person
that
was on it.
and what do you think, like, because it bothers me when I see people, y'all sleeping, you know Nike was all about money, like they don't get the big picture.
You know what? I think it goes two ways. I think, yes, they are about
Of
money.
course, they're business.
Yeah, they are a business, and I think they've already ran it through the analytics of what this is going to cost, how many we going to lose versus how many we going to gain, how many going to burn their socks and burn their
Smart
shoes,
business
and
was
how
being
many are going
done.
to buy our product now
That
because we
staff is
stand for
dope.
something. So I'm sure they were in the
I'm
back
buying
room.
some.
Yeah, they were in the back room.
Yeah.
They calculated it all out.
Right.
On the graphs,
Yeah, them
and they
cats
said,
were
you know what? We gonna lose this, but we
Right.
may gain this.
That part.
And the publicity of Nike, I mean, everybody's
You see
talking
the
about Nike
numbers.
now.
Right,
You see
right,
the
right.
numbers. So they're already
went up.
making money. So it's
Absolutely.
both. You can be for social justice and for profit as well,
Absolutely.
and have both.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. I'm telling you, that group of people in that room is some
Yeah.
smart cats.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They was on it.
But it's still satellite that they didn't drop them.
Yes.
That's
I'm
part.
saying
So it wasn't
that's huge.
necessarily a
Smart
money
part.
move
Right. Yeah,
because they
was-
didn't drop them. Now they could have
Right.
dropped them and then tried to go back and pick them back
It's
up.
still a
But
strategy.
exactly, you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
ain't nothing wrong with money moves. Ain't
Yeah,
nothing
ain't
wrong
right.
because Colin getting paid too.
They sat on
Exactly.
it for a minute.
And then think about
Sat
them.
on it.
They are a pillar in the NFL with the shoes, with the hats, with all that
Yeah,
Nike
yeah.
symbols everywhere. So
Correct.
imagine how that is. So they're still on the forefront and they
Oh,
still winning.
And
no
they
matter how
knew
you
that
win.
Colin had
Everywhere.
support,
Everywhere.
and I think
Yes.
they were able to weigh out the support
Yep.
that Colin had.
Yep.
And I think they realized there was more with Colin that wasn't with Colin.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I believe that those that wasn't with Colin, what Nike wears anyway.
Bottom
Okay.
line.
Because it might have been old school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all, you know what I mean? They might have been what they call them the crock wears.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Wearing Skechers, memory foam. No, but
Wearing
yeah.
Speed.
And they realized our Nike wears
Yeah.
are with Colin.
Yeah.
So it was
We
more
go
that
hard,
was.
right? Yeah.
That's right.
So, sometimes you got to be able to weigh out the pros and the cons, and they realized it was more Nike wears
and they
with
were
it.
on
That's
it.
right.
And Nike is everywhere. Nike got their own. Nike own Converse. They were with Under Armour partnerships. They got college. They got high school. They got pros. If you gonna burn your socks, are you gonna stop watching the NFL? You gonna stop watching
gotta-
college
a whole
football?
bunch of
You gonna
commercials.
stop at the
What you gonna
commercials?
do?
You know
You gonna stop going to the mall and seeing the big Nike sign? What you gonna
Right,
turn? What?
right.
It's
I mean,
everywhere.
at what point do you stop? I mean, you can burn whatever, but you've already paid for it. It's your loss.
Yeah.
So I don't.
And I think that was more so your statement than anything, because you hurt yourself. You know,
Right.
you didn't make any statement, but burning stuff like you did when the 2 Live Crew and all them. They still, like Cube said, you still bought the NWA album.
Right.
Right, you still bought
You don't care
it.
about
It don't
it.
matter.
Yeah.
You mad?
But
Yeah,
burning stuff.
yeah,
Heard the whole
exactly.
song,
You
the whole
paid
album.
money to burn something, so they still got your money.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm
Still
cool
got
though.
Burn a whole bunch of those. Matter of fact.
Okay, please go buy some more and burn them.
But look what it's doing to this generation, though, because with social media the way it is, Nike advertising, you couldn't pay for the advertising they get, even with the people
Absolutely.
burning their stuff.
Right.
They still getting the advertising
Right.
of it
That
being
swoosh
burnt.
is still
That
on
swoosh is
fire.
still up there.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, ooh,
And-
that's a good shoe right there. Put the swoosh on fire.
And I love the instructions that Nike posted on how to burn your stuff.
Oh, look,
they
that was
did?
hilarious. That was
So if you're
hilarious.
gonna burn your stuff, let me just give you some safety rules on how you gonna burn your
Exactly.
Nike
I
gear.
I laughed so hard at
And
that.
did y'all see all the celebrities
I
and
cracked
Instagram
up.
celebrities that's doing the Just Do It
Right.
in the black and white now? So I mean, it's hundreds
Yeah.
of
Oh my
those
God, that
now.
was
So that's what you call free advertisement.
Yeah.
Nike
You
was
know-
like,
doing
we
it.
ain't hurting. Go on, burn that.
Don't do it, do
It's
it.
an old edition as you speak anyway. We got
Right.
a new shoe coming out tomorrow.
Absolutely.
going up.
No, I'm gonna get the Colin shoe. If he get a shoe, I'm gonna get it just
Just
because.
'cause.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Get a little
because
stock.
because if parents used to always say, if you don't stand for something, you'll
Don't
fall
fall
for
for
anything.
anything. Right.
And he stood for something.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times for me, and I'm sure a lot of people have said this, he stood for what they actually fought for.
Yes.
For the rights of this country, for
telling you.
justice for all.
Right, right.
And isn't that what we say? for liberty and justice for all. That's
That's
why
it.
he kneeled. It was for the liberty and justice for all, not for those who just fought for the country. He
nothing to do
kneeled
with
for
that.
what you fought for.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's like you can't forget what he was fighting for what we thought y'all was fighting for.
Right.
For justice for all, not
Yes.
justice for some.
So-
So until we get justice for all,
Right.
he was going to kneel. So he was bringing a message that I think people got misconstrued.
Right.
He wasn't
They want
disrespecting
to
the
misconstrue
flag.
it.
Right.
Right.
He just wanted justice for all.
And see, there's
Period.
nothing
Never
wrong. There's
disrespect
nothing
them.
wrong with that. As great as this country is, and the history of this country, we got some problems.
We do.
in
Yes,
this
we
country.
do. We
do.
Still,
Exactly.
Still, and so for us just to have blind patriotism and think that okay, everything's fine and we here. No, there's some issues that are causing lives and being discriminatory, and we have a racial background in this country that just goes deep. And it's still, it's still there, and it's more now than ever. It seems like with our leadership, people are coming out the woodwork, and just racism and the divide in this country is at its all-time high. I feel like it's 60s around here with social media.
Say that.
It just
With
it's just
social
Say
media,
that.
yeah.
it feels crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's just. There's nothing wrong with speaking up and saying what's wrong with this country.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's how things get changed.
Absolutely.
And so we can speak up, and that's what he's doing. So applaud, hats off.
Hats all the way
Colin,
off.
Nike,
Yeah, 'cause
and
that
I
was
hope
hard
more
doing
come.
that.
I hope we
That
get
was
more
hard.
endorsements. Some other companies jump in.
Absolutely. Jump on the bandwagon. Jump on the bandwagon.
Everybody
Do it.
sees
And it's going to start a conversation, but I think it's going to cause a discord too, because I feel it. I feel
Oh
it.
yeah,
I feel the
absolutely.
burners.
People are.
The burners are taking
absolutely.
place in our
It's
jobs
hot.
everywhere.
It's hot. It's because of the
course.
divide. You either for or against. It's
Bottom
no
line,
like
no
ah.
Yeah.
The gray area has left this country.
Well, I
Absolutely.
support Colin Kaepernick.
All right,
Me too. Behind me.
Colin all day.
Two up.
do it. Do it.
Colin all day. I support you. Well, last week we had one of the longest funerals, I believe, in American history.
I think so. I think so.
They
And I
put
was-
away the queen
Hey.
in style for 5 hours. They put on
It
a
was
show
just 5 hours.
concert.
I thought it was
Five.
8.
Right.
I don't know. That was 5.
It felt like 24 hours, but it was about 5 hours.
Bounce showed it live.
Yeah.
Bounce showed it live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep,
I
I
watched it.
tuned into Bounce as well, but they laid her to rest, and she went in style like a queen should, where she had wardrobe changes and everything. But the family is outraged. Here's my question. See, the family is outraged because somebody posted a full body picture of the queen dressed in gold and another one her in blue. Now, the family did not want her face to be shown. There was a beautiful picture that Gwendolyn Quinn and the Associated Press had posted when she was in red with the beautiful ruby red shoes and just the back of her head. It was a very tasteful photo that was approved for the public. Then, of course, we have to go in and we have to be, to me, disrespectful and disrespect the Queen of Soul and take a picture because we want stuff to go viral. I want to be the first one to post it. I want this picture to go viral. But the thing is, should we as people, should we still disrespect the wishes of the family? Or because she was a public figure, do we feel like we have the right to go against the family's wishes because she was a public figure and post photos that they do not want out there? And that is my question. What do you think? Do you think the whoever posted photos was wrong?
I'm gonna just say this.
Go ahead.
They were wrong. I don't think we should ever disrespect. But the question is more so, why would we do it? And I think
For the likes.
People won't want. Yeah, it's
People do it because
come
of
to
likes
that.
and
It's come
shares.
to that.
It's come
It's
to
come
how
to
many
that.
shares am I going to get? How many likes am I going to get? And
Yeah.
how many comments I'm going to get? Because not only will my picture go viral, people going to see my name.
That part.
And they go, and people do it for selfish reasons. People do it for selfish reasons. And I
Yeah.
think that's the why behind it. How many shares am I going to get? I want to be the first one to post this.
that's so.
So because I
makes
want
no
it to go
sense any other
viral.
way. Makes
Well,
no
then
sense any
with
other
me,
way.
I feel like I'm torn on this because that happened to my grandmother, which was like my mother, and I took that so hard. And what it was my aunt's husband's family, who was close. They were I guess, our lives since I was 2. To make a long story short, when I walked in, they taking pictures of my grandma. My grandma was a Cosmo. She was a manager at McClellan Air Force. Very prestigious woman, very nice and the sweetest woman you would meet. And she, but at the same time, she was not playing about her looks like Patti LaBelle. You never seen her undone, right? So here she is
wouldn't have
laying on
wanted
this
that.
cat. Yeah,
That's what you're
Who
saying.
would
She
want?
wouldn't
My
want
grandmother
that.
would not want this, and so to this
Yeah.
day, and my
Yeah.
grandmother been going about 8 years, was 7, and I almost lost it on my aunt's husband's family who was invited, and they're I couldn't believe it. And that was my first time even seeing something like that.
Right.
So I was upset with her that she was allowing it to happen. I do understand it's your motherland here and you dealing with it how you are, but you're letting your in-laws take pictures of my grandmother and no telling what they're gonna do with it in their access. That blew me away, and to this day I pray about the healing on that. Secondly, now I'm torn with Aretha because that was a sacred thing to where we just didn't think no cameras was involved. When you putting this lady on Front Street like this, and I see her hair that was curled, and I seen her pumps, and to me, you're making her into a museum. What do you mean you don't think no pictures is going? You want people to look at her, and then all of Detroit came out, and so to me that is not fair to people because people walking around ain't no telling who took a camera, you know what I'm saying, and Snapchat her, anything. So with that, you open up the world for them to see her, and we already seen her. I don't even want to see half her head and her legs and her feet. That was inappropriate to me on TV. Every time you pop up, she's gone. She's passed. That's just a shell. Her spirit is no longer here. But why we got to see her hair and stuff? Yeah, a queen should go out, but just make her casket pretty and put Aretha stuff on it. Why do you have to go around in a circle like she's some type of museum art? Go do a wax figure on her. That was my thing.
They've done that to many celebrities. They've done that to the president.
James Brown, and it's not cool to me.
My thing is, I think
if
if that had happened, they'd be saying something about that too. We'd be talking about the cast being closed on Aretha too. But
do you think that it would be?
I think the family was in a very. How do you do that?
Right.
If Aretha Franklin, how do you say we don't want nobody at this funeral?
No, you could come like they did Whitney's. Do it at her home church and shut her casket.
Because the family had a problem with the media and therefore and whatnot. You have to make a decision. So their decision was, okay, we know we're not going to escape this. I'm thinking. So we're going to have to open this up to everybody.
You don't have to.
But I disagree with that.
You see what I'm saying? The struggle of what they had to decide to
Their
do.
family
They
has
didn't do
no
it for
choice.
Michael Jackson. They didn't do it for Michael
Whitney
Jackson
Houston,
or Whitney.
and they
Or
pissed
Whitney.
off when they snuck in there was taking one. Remember the two?
Yeah, I
I think
remember.
the only way to do that is just to have a closed casket.
Absolutely.
The only way to guarantee that
That's
the
the
picture's
only
not
way.
getting out, because even family members, even those that you might invite a small circle, one of
Somebody
them
gonna get a picture.
Exactly.
might do
You're
it.
gonna
Somebody
get
So
gonna
the
get
only
a
way to
picture, bro.
guarantee it is have that
Shut
closed
it.
casket, have some pictures. We got
But
pictures
there's
of
no
her all the
guarantee
way.
because Whitney's came out, so it had to be
And
someone that
somebody
worked
got
at the
mad
funeral
paid.
home.
Yeah.
I know somebody that was in the funeral home. Somebody went in there
Somebody got mad
because they
paid.
got that photo
got
of Whitney.
paid
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
it.
Even Aaliyah's is out with her hair burnt off and her eye is over here and her gums are showing because of the burnt. Yeah, that came out 3 years before she died, and I don't know how her family got
3
it
years
off.
before she died,
I mean, after she died. I'm sorry. They like, that'll be a freak.
Who did you say?
Aaliyah, really?
Oh.
I guess when they pulled her out and they was
I
doing
saw
the
that picture.
autopsy.
That
Yeah,
shit, I saw that
everything.
picture.
It was
See,
disturbing.
that's the
Somebody's
problem.
going to get a picture.
That's the problem with media today and these phones and people's attention of trying to get a
Yes.
snapshot,
Right.
even of car accidents, and people are hurting themselves.
We
and
had to
before-
see Tupac's body.
Yeah,
Right,
before we get help, we videotaping and doing pictures and
Yeah.
of gruesome stuff that we
Yes.
post out, and that's
Sick.
just
Like
wrong.
the rapper XXXTentacion.
Yeah,
With him
yeah.
being dead in the car.
Yeah,
car.
yeah, in the car. You want to take
That
a
was so
picture.
disturbing.
Right.
I mean, I won't even have a picture of me. God forbid, I'm in the hospital, sick, laying up.
Thank
Don't
you.
put me on Facebook.
Thank you, brother
Don't take a
Joe.
picture of me
Right.
saying, "Oh, Joe is sick. Pray for
Yeah.
Joe." I don't need no pictures out there with that.
You've always said that.
Yeah, don't be snapping and
Please,
trying to get a selfie with me.
You know,
Right.
you know what's
Hey,
interesting?
my hair didn't
I'm
grow out.
not
I got a
feeling
shirt
good.
from Hemsley.
Okay,
Like,
so
y'all
what's
ain't
the
shaved my head
difference?
on.
Okay, so
I
let's
don't
talk
want it
about
even
like
when
this.
I'm sick. I don't want
Let's
it.
talk about like this. Back in the 50s, 60s, 40s, back in the 30s, that's what you did.
What you
You
did?
did what?
Take pictures of people used to have
With an
photos-
Emmett Till.
Now, I
No,
took
no,
pictures
listen,
of my
but
mom, but I
listen.
wasn't going to share them.
No, but what I,
Right. That was for you.
That's
Yeah,
where I'm
that's
going.
for me.
That's where I'm
Or
going.
they
So them
hand or
pictures
something
have
when
been
they passed
taken
it.
of people, and people's have funerals in their homes and stuff. But now that social media's got involved, it just changes
it's-
that whole
yeah.
sacred of that.
Yeah,
to
you
where
scrolling up and
you
like-
have a book for the family to show. This is your uncle so and so. This when he passed away. The sacred thing. But now that I think whatever the family would decided, everybody would have a problem anyway. I think they had to do what they had to do. And unfortunately, they had to take the losses with the good. They couldn't get around it.
But kidding the family, I don't know. I'm torn.
It's
on
Aretha
that one.
Franklin. There was no way to get around us.
They didn't do that to Elvis Presley. He was the king of pop. She the queen. Why they ain't open him?
It was a flat out racist, but I'm just saying.
Okay. So he still had people. They should have opened his casket up too.
No, they didn't.
They should open up. I couldn't believe it. And James Brown, he looked at a plastic.
But why do we want to see people? Why do we want to see people at their worst?
Thank you.
Why do we want
I
to
don't
see
wanna
people?
remember you like
Why do
that.
we want to see people at their worst? She's gone, and we take a picture like this is the
Michelle.
image
And
that
if
you
she
want.
didn't have a
Thank
I mean, we
will,
got
who made
so
the
many
decision?
more. We got so many more pictures, and better pictures of all of our heroes and you know,
when you don't have a-
stars and.
Marie had said she didn't have a will. When you don't have a will, that's your decision.
Right. So she was. That was gonna happen. Somebody,
Right.
whoever that was, made that decision.
Now I read
Right.
that her attorney, said, he had mentioned it a few times, but she just never got around to it. So she just never got around to it.
So she had wishes and desires. She just never got down.
I
to-
guess she did. I don't know what those wishes and desires were because
Right,
they
right,
weren't
right,
written
right.
But
down.
she was sick for
But
a
when
while.
exactly,
she was.
but when you
Time
have a
balance.
terminal illness, the question is why didn't you get around to it? Because
That's a good
that your
question.
time is now coming
That's
to
a
an
good
end, and that's
question.
$80 million. That's going to be going into probate.
So what was going
Lawyers.
on?
That,
That's
with
interesting.
lawyers
That's
and
interesting.
lawyers' fees and different things like that. But the question is, why as a people we don't take care of our business?
Come on.
You know what? I'm gonna have to say ouch on that one because I don't have our wills and things.
Me either, I ain't gonna lie.
Now my husband's always talking about. He always said,
A slug deal was due, lady.
You know,
I went like this. Look,
Got time to play on
And
that.
my husband said, we got to make our
I gotta
appointment.
do it. And you know what? I'm dragging my feet on it. I am because I got the program.
Right.
I can do it, but it's like, I'm gonna have to
guilty
say
too.
ouch on that
Me
one.
too.
I don't have it set up
Right.
myself.
Right.
So why don't you have yours, Marie?
Cause I ain't got nothing to write about.
I ain't got nothing.
I didn't leave a nice, wonderful note. I left y'all.
Okay, you can get these
It's
scissors.
good to these
It's a nice,
scissors,
kind word.
my scarf.
Right.
That's
My
right.
God.
Well, if you want to join in on the conversation, give us a call, 916-226-9226. We would love to hear from you. We're talking about basically, why don't we as a people, how about just black folk? We
That's
do
what
not
it
have
is.
our stuff together. Why don't we make the time to get our stuff together? Now, we have life insurance. We do have life
Yeah,
insurance.
we have life
We do have
insurance,
that. But you know what I mean? Just to, get the living trust and, all those other things
Right,
together.
right.
Why don't we make the time? Why isn't that important? Because we know we're going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to live forever in heaven.
Yeah.
Just not here.
Yeah.
Right.
So why don't we get our stuff,
true.
get our house in order here?
But let me
before
say
we go?
this. Let me say this. Not everybody's comfortable talking about their departure.
That's true.
Here,
That's
I even talk to my parents. Try to talk to them about, hey, you guys got life insurance or whatever. And then you would think that they think I'm planning to plot something or
Right,
trying to
exactly. You trying to kill me?
You want me to go? You want to get some? It's like they don't even want to talk to me
We just
about
want to know
it.
where your
They
papers
don't even
at.
want to. I don't even
That's
know where
all.
the papers at. I don't know where the
Right.
papers at if something were to happen. I'm the oldest.
Right.
And so more likely they'll be calling me to say, hey, this is what's going on.
Absolutely.
I don't know where to begin.
Drama
And so
ain't even happened
even if
yet.
I try to bring it up, it's like I'm wishing something upon them or
Exactly.
speaking about it.
Exactly.
Just
and
speaking about it is
nothing
going to
happened
speed
yet.
up the time on something. It's like,
Right.
and it's like that.
You right.
It's always, I don't know.
You're
That's
lying.
just my family. I don't
No,
know.
I
lying.
think that's across the board, son. I don't think this is true, brother.
And my parents got
That's what I
houses
think.
and they got a house and they got a car, they got little stuff in the house. I mean,
Yeah.
there's stuff to lose.
Absolutely.
And
We
tie
got
up
assets.
in probate, and we just, I don't know, need help.
Oh, you say you need help. Hi, you're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Shanae, and I am calling from Sacramento.
Hi, Shanae. How are you?
I just want. I'm fine. I'm good. I just tuned in. I've been tuning in since you started, and I just kind of wanted to touch on the whole will thing.
Okay.
My philosophy of it is, if you raise your children right, and wherever you have good family and good, just come from good stock, you probably really don't need it because you're going to already automatically know what to do. So, for an example, my mother was to pass away today. I have a brother and I have a sister. We're not upset over anything. We're going to make decisions collectively, and we're going to do what my mom expects us to do. And that's the right thing. So, whether my brother take the property over there, me and my sister take the property here, divide it, but it will be no fighting because that's not how we were raised. I think when you're not from a stronger foundation, or you just, that's your nature to fight. If you're always fighting with your sisters and brothers and your family, that's going to be the nature to fight. So in that case, the scenario, yeah, maybe you do need to put something in writing. But as for how I was raised and where I come from in my family, we stick together so tough. We don't talk about it, and I don't believe anybody has it because we know that's just not something that will go down. My great grandmother had 12 children. She died at 100 years old. Left all that land. Nobody fights. You get this, you got that. You know, everybody got their few little acres, and it is what it is. So I don't know. It disturbs me when I do see families that fight over materialistic things and money and things like that, because ultimately nobody is winning at the end of the day. So I just think that, you know, it's no need for that if you come from a strong foundation who instilled something in you and instilled character in you and values. You won't need it.
Now, question.
Opinion.
Yeah, no, that's good. Now, my question for you is, if the properties are in your mother's name, they will have to go into probate. And so the court. So depending on how long it's going to be in probate for them to make that decision. So, you know, it could be in probate for a year. That's a long time. So that's unnecessary. But what I'm just saying is, it's just unnecessary money to be spending when the decisions can be made right now. Like you said, you guys are a family, y'all tough, y'all close. So why don't make the decisions now, so you don't have to have the court make the decisions for you.
Right, and you're absolutely right, and that's something that can be taken into consideration. But I just don't. We just never discussed it. I just believe that as a collective, if it goes into probate, I don't really know how all that works. Like, I don't know if stuff goes into I don't know.
No, it does. I have a family, and our stuff is in probate. It does. I'm telling you now, from experience. Even though everybody got rights, got land, it will. Trust me, we're in it now.
So what happens after that? Like, so what happens after that? After the judge makes the decision, does the family still get to choose, or does it just go for sale? Or how does that? You still get to decide, right? I mean,
it depends. Like with us, we're still going through it, and it's been 2 years. That's what I'm saying. So if y'all close family, handle your stuff now, so it doesn't have to go through the courts, because it can be a long process, and you don't know how long that process is going to be. Although everybody is on the same page, you gave it to the courts because nobody made a decision while they were.
It'd be a quick.
There you go.
It'll settle.
Okay, so
there you go.
Frankly, didn't have a funeral. I had a will, what they say in the video, right?
Absolutely.
They say she didn't have a will.
Right.
So it's going to go to probate.
For somebody of that magnitude of celebrity status to not have a will,
that's interesting,
I wonder
right?
what was her thinking of not having one?
Exactly. And so
You know
some
what
people don't think.
I just wonder,
like you said.
Prince didn't have a will. So you got all these people, all this money that did not have a will. So there must be something behind it to where more than just not taking care of business.
Right. We don't think about it, like you said. We just don't be thinking about it. It's not important. We just don't think about it. We consume all of this money, but we really don't think about that. Death don't be on our minds.
And then we assume because she's a celebrity that should be done. So I think that's what.
But at that type of magnitude of style and
we assume it should be done and handled because of who she is.
Little, you know what I mean? The few couple, you know what I mean? Like it's like.
And plus,
me versus Aretha Franklin, I probably won't think about it because I don't have that much.
$80 million, right?
Curious what in their minds, whether they're thinking to not even have anything, because there's a lot of celebrities that passed away and didn't have a will.
Well, her attorney said she didn't get around to it. She just didn't get around to it.
Interesting.
We don't make it a priority. He's talked to her about it, but just didn't get around to it.
Couldn't make her do it.
You're right.
Just getting around to it.
That's it.
Okay, well, I'll wait on y'all next topic.
Thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
But I tell you what, the most interesting dynamic. The most interesting dynamic to me, and this actually goes across races, because I work with the elderly, and I've been in situations where the person has died. But the most interesting dynamic to me is how people act when a person dies.
Yes.
It's amazing where everybody's mind goes when that person is dead.
Right.
And it's like family, sisters, brothers, everybody just get tore up. What she was saying was good. That was great, and I'm glad she has a family.
That's ideal too.
Right.
Ideal.
But what I see more, if we're going to put it in statistic, you know, I see more people. I mean, there's a girl right now that I'm dealing with. Her dad, she waiting. But she's an only child, and she says things like, I ain't got to worry about that. I ain't fighting with nobody. But the fact that you got to say that.
Right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. I know certain people have gone through things with their siblings, and then this just tears the family apart.
But think about this, though, because doing a will is not easy. And so if it's going to cause division after you're gone, what about when you're living and you have to make decisions and people
Right
know ahead of time who's going to get what, why you going to give them to that, and why am I, you know, what about the cousins, what about the stepsons and daughters, and what about the blended families, and you're going to make that decision for everybody. And so some people are going to be upset with you while you yet living because of decisions you made to include or not include them in your will.
But the most horrible thing is when people are waiting for you to die.
Yeah.
When they know that you are ill, and they know that you have wealth or you've accumulated things, and selfishly they're waiting for you to go and trying to see why you still yet living but yet dying. Who gonna get what? Who gonna get your house? I want your car. I want the ring.
Stuff to sneak to get it.
My
Right.
godmom said she's not getting no life insurance, but she just got a house, and she said my daughters and my husband, because ain't no other woman living up in here, and my daughter's gonna make sure of it. What they gonna do, because they can't live in the house together after I'm gone, so I want them to sell the house and split it. She said, ain't nobody gonna be, I'm not taking care of none of y'all when I'm gone like that. You know how people get like millions of dollars. Because what is it? It's all about money when you go.
It's
Why? And
crazy.
then people don't take the time to remember who the person was.
No,
The
it's
money
lost.
filters.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I told my brothers, like, you know, or the family, the sisters that's over my dad and my mom, like, get this. Yeah, I know y'all come to me. I'm very responsible. I will make sure everything is good, but I really don't want to. I said, I have two brothers younger. Let's see how they do. Why the oldest always got to be the one to do stuff? I don't want to be fighting with them because I hurt somebody, period.
No, for
so
real.
at the end of the day, let them divvy it out. And you can come to me and give me whatever you want. I won't complain. So let them do it, because I don't want to be the villain, because I know that my way, it'll be, okay, if you're giving me the baton, I'm going to do it my way, okay? Okay, so this is how it's going to be done. And I'm going to be fair, but you might not like my fairness because I'm thinking of the big picture. Your kids, not only you, because you know how some people, just give me the money now. I figure it out with the kids and their college fund. And he's 4 right now or 7 right now, you know. No, we going to make sure they good.
Right.
You know that college fund going to be spent.
I am so
They want
glad
to get a
I'm the
little
only
Johnny
child.
Walker.
Well,
I'm so glad it's just me. I'm so glad it's just
The
me. I
only
have no
child.
siblings.
Okay.
Well, you guys, next topic, moving on. Well, the 2-night story of the Bobby Brown story aired for 2 nights on BT, and it gave us a glimpse into Bobby Brown's life. So many things we knew, so many things we didn't know. The thing that had social media buzzing, a lot of people did not know about the relationship that he had with Janet Jackson. Got Janet Jackson a car.
Good night.
He's leaving the building, people. He's leaving the building.
Hard.
But it showed, you know, according to Bobby's story, that Janet was a player. She had a little boyfriend. I guess she was dating a little backup dancer. She was sleeping with Bobby Brown. But my question to you is, should celebrities kiss and tell at the expense of someone else to make a buck? How do you feel about celebrities kissing and telling at the expense of someone else? Now, Janet Jackson, she has a new album that's coming out. She's on tour doing her thing. And I want to know, how does Janet feel about her business being told on television by Bobby Brown, which I'm sure was something. Now, Janet, she's a master at keeping secrets.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she had that secret baby. She kept a marriage a secret for 9 years.
Renee Elizondo, James DeBarge.
She don't know what hot Cheetos are.
I mean, that girl know how to keep a secret.
She do.
Tell, if you want to tell somebody, tell Janet. Some people say tell Jesus. Tell Janet.
Tell Janet.
She'll hold it. She'll hold it.
She'll hold it.
Some people say,
I didn't know
tell
what you
Jesus.
were
Tell
talking
Janet.
Really?
But should celebrities kiss and tell? What y'all think? Is it fair?
I'm waiting. We
I
waiting.
was I was shocked, and I would just put it this way: had Janet did the editing or had some say so, I'm sure she would have left a lot of that. Like, you know, you could have. there was a scene in there where you could have kind of faded it off, like when she was like, "I'll make it up to you," not to give away way too much, but I'll make it up to you. You could have went into another scene.
Absolutely.
Something
Come on, you really wanted to pop your
but
collar
then
on
you
that.
go into
Left it to our
detail,
imagination.
and you just put it out there. That's what surprised me. So I mean, my mouth dropped a little bit because I didn't know about their relationship. I didn't know it was any dealing
I heard
there.
that
So
a long time
so
ago.
I
I remember
was
hearing
shocked.
that. I remember hearing that a long time. I remember being a teenager hearing that. I remember hearing that. I remember hearing
First
that.
of all, y'all.
Somebody posted a picture of Janet and Bobby too on social media too.
I
Old school
believe it.
picture.
Oh, they dig it. Here we go. Here we
social
go.
media.
Ooh, them
Social
trolls is
media.
good.
Hi, you're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine.
trolls.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is me again.
Hey, me.
Hey, you said you called back.
I couldn't wait till y'all got on this topic, and then I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Kiss and tell.
Okay,
Yes,
girl, okay.
absolutely, because that's his story. That's a part of his life.
Here we
Yes,
go.
he can tell it, and just like you said, Janet Jackson's a sneaky. And she's sneaky. And she's not. She's not. She was a thought. And she was secretly married twice.
Right, baby.
Gay to the barn school. Then she had the backup dancer. She been sneaky botany. So yes,
Hey.
She's a sweet, sneaky girl. She don't have to put her business out there like that,
This
Shanae.
is his story.
All right now.
No, I said
No,
that she's a
no, I'm
sweet.
saying no.
Let's respect her for at least all these years. We don't really even know. We don't know about anything. We don't even know if she had a fake baby and all of that till this day.
Hold on.
So you guys are
That's her
giving her
daughter
a
look
bad
just
rap.
like her. Look just like her.
Yes, she does, but you guys have no
Okay.
concrete evidence about that. Okay,
You know how I feel I do?
now I'm gonna
Okay.
tell.
You know how I feel I
She
got
don't have
concrete
a baby.
evidence? Because when
Even
she
if
came
she
out with
don't
that
have
one,
one,
when
she
she
got
came up with
one
that one
now.
album,
By her
anytime.
force
Any place.
Any place.
So
Okay.
I'm just
What-
saying,
she came out with a lot of
nothing
nasty
surprises
stuff.
me with these Jacksons. Nothing surprises me with these Jacksons. You got two brothers
She
that got
busted
the same
herself out with that
baby mama.
album, bro. I'm
Nothing
telling you.
surprises me about the Jacksons and nothing that they do.
I-
You got two
Man.
brothers that got the same baby mama.
Right.
So,
You ain't lying.
True.
They have
Okay.
a sister with
And
mental
a murder
issues.
that they covered up because remember one of them drowned in the Jackson pool.
Oh, that was the sister-in-law.
Janet
Killed
Jackson
herself.
been around here sneaking and creeping. He just decides to tell it. So, yeah, he can tell
Like
it.
I
It's his story.
said.
It's his life.
The Anytime,
That is
Any
right.
Place album let us know where Janet was really at because
Right.
that whole album was a freaky album.
Ooh.
The Velvet
She
Rope
dropped
Tour
that- the-
let you
man.
know too.
She was. She
what
was.
she
When
was
she
into.
dropped it, I said, "Oh, there you go, Janet. Hey, girl. Hey, freaky Janet."
But let's go with Janet.
Well, y'all.
Go ahead.
Y'all have a. I just wanted to give my last opinion because I got
Good
so
opinion.
that was-
Thank
that
you
was
so
good.
much. That was great.
That was good.
Girl,
Thank
hey,
you.
thank you and have a good night, honey. Sleep tight. Sleep
She
good.
said, "These Jacksons is tricky.
Good.
The Jacksons is tricky.
Now, y'all know I don't like Bobby Brown, period, because I love Whitney Houston. I had different phases with her because my grandmother introduced me to her, and everybody know my personal relationship with her.
His feelings be
At
killing
the
me. I
bottom
love
line is, let's go back. I lived this. I'm 43 years old. I lived them. Their pictures was on my wall. I had Right On, Fresh Magazine. I watched every BET, Odyssey,
Yes.
everything. I
Yes.
lived
Jet.
this. This movies ain't nothing. You know, that's why I wish they would have waited till you was 80 to where I couldn't remember nothing. I remember every single thing vividly. Number one, Janet and Bobby Brown. Number one is the reason, and of course, she's secretive and she doesn't talk on nothing unless she wants to. Let's get that straight,
No, she
okay?
got it locked. She
Number
got it
two,
locked.
with Bobby Brown and Donnie Simpson, just the video was re-released, and he's sitting on the couch in a blue leather, hot-looking suit, talking about, "Oh, I love Janet Jackson. I love her. I wanted to be with her." Now, then he hadn't messed with her or nothing. Apparently, allegedly, he did kind of peek some stuff in there. But at the end of the day, you guys have to remember when Bobby Brown's book came out, he lied about. First of all, everybody know that cocaine, when it touch, well, not everybody, but when it touch grease, it dissipates. How you gonna shake the chicken bag when your mama's cocaine was in there and you put it in a frying pan and you could chicken cocaine? That was in his book. The next chapter,
Chicken cocaine?
chicken cocaine. He thought it was flour.
What?
And then secondly, he did talk about the Janet Jackson thing, but Janet never, and that book was written a year ago, she never, and I thought then I said, "Oh, Janet's gonna come for him, right?" Because I just knew it was a lie. And so she didn't. No word. I looked everywhere. Where's Janet? Is she gonna say something? She gonna shut him down?
not.
That's defamation of character. She wouldn't even kiss Tupac in a movie because she's scared she was gonna get AIDS. And here you sleeping with nasty Bobby Brown. And number one is, think about it. Janet's family always was for the fair-skinned, high yellow. That's why she was with Renee Elizondo. She was with James DeBarge. Only dark-skinned person that she had in her 40s to get her black card back was Jermaine Dupri, and she stayed with him for a long time and found out how good a dark-skinned man can love you.
But he wasn't cute. She got one of the ugliest ones out there.
But
he liked
to me, I think that they
Slurpees,
was love. He loved her. You know, that was she
They
seemed
had a
so
Slurpee
happy.
love.
You know, but all these, the light-skinned brothers wasn't doing her right. You know what I'm saying?
She could at least got a cute
So
dark skin brother.
maybe-
Though. She got a cute
And a taller one.
See, they got some
Hey,
cute
but
ones.
what's
They
What's
got
wrong with,
Giselle,
what's
some
wrong with JD?
You know what's
He
wrong
was
with
faithful.
everything.
He was faithful.
Was he faithful?
Absolutely.
I don't know
Until
if he
the
was
end,
faithful.
they
I'm
said
like-
that he had
was
strippers
faithful.
or whatever. But
I
that's-
don't know.
Miss
that ain't too
Charlena,
much.
he was short.
So number one is Bobby Brown is a liar. He waited till Whitney died to say she was crying and was having sex with Tupac. So why is the world believing him? He's a liar. He defamates her character. You never said none of this stuff when she was leaving, because when you watched the Oprah special, she said, "I can say a lot
serious
more,
about
a lot more, and I'm
Mr.
not."
Hustler, this is
This is
very real. It's real.
I don't like Bobby Brown, and I hope he hear that.
His whole body just
Yeah,
got
yeah,
hot.
just-
At the end of the,
I feel it.
Think about it, lady.
Spirit.
Think about it. Your
Yeah.
brother, you got men in your life that is gonna ride for you, even if you
Right,
got
right,
to know what brother Joe gonna do. No, we ain't having this. He gonna smoke the crack with you. As men in her life, all the men let her down. From her father stole her money, her brothers did dough with her, and then her husband. She had no men in her life to pull her out and say, "Come on, you need to shake this off." And sometimes we have the power to do that. Other women or women don't. So she was let down by all these men.
But let me
I
ask
think
you a
it's the
question,
same
but
term.
she had a
It
mind of her
seemed like
own,
Whitney was
though,
pretty
Gary.
Yeah, but when you're on
strong,
drugs,
pretty
lady, it's
strong
hard. It's hard when you're on drugs
character.
and you're that far gone. Come on, y'all. It's hard.
But-
and if your man can have power, you mean to tell me if you was on
But
that,
she had
Brother
money,
Joe
though.
would have straightened you out.
But she always reminded him that, that was her house.
It was, and she
You know,
could do what she
and she
wanted.
had all those things,
let
honey.
me put this in perspective.
Go ahead.
My wife, she likes to snack, right?
Right.
She
Tell
she
it.
may tell me about goals that she has.
Yeah.
She don't want to lose weight and everything.
I do.
I will not dare now try to dictate what she can eat and what she can't eat.
Don't do it.
Because I tried to do that one time. And then she was like, who you think you are telling me what I can eat and what I can't eat? She has a mind of her own. And this is with us loving each other, wanting
You
the best
live,
for each
so
other.
it's
I'm
okay.
trying to help her, but at the end of the day, she gonna make a decision because it's her body.
Right.
She
That's
wants
true.
to do it, and so she eating the candy. I'm reminding her about her diet. She eating the candy, then get upset with me
yeah.
because now I'm trying to get the candy from her, but it's not working. It's not happening. We go out to eat and say, baby, you should. I can eat whatever I want to eat.
Yeah, what
you know.
you talking
And
for?
so
What
this
are
is
you
just with
talking to
candy
me?
and food.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a drug mind if something were to happen. She's still gonna be like, this is what I want to do.
But see, your approach is gonna be different. That's Candy and stuff. That if she get a little fluffy, you still gonna love her. She's still gonna be cute.
But sugar is a drug,
But
too.
if her mind start going and stuff start disappearing, your kids start, what's wrong with mommy? You gonna have a different approach.
Well, see, then
they
it
were
would
just
have
gonna
to be-
leave.
But they
I
were doing
stay
it
with it.
together, though. They were doing. They
But,
were.
he claimed to get clean at a certain
But he
point.
did. But he did get clean, and he loved her, and his daughter was there. So it's hard when
And
your
she
daughter's
dead.
in the house. Yeah, she is.
When she was calling him 2 weeks before, and what he do, let his new wife deter him from coming to save his daughter.
Yeah, this man.
And then you're
God,
gonna
he-
cry
his
and
whole
blame
body-
Nick Gordon
his whole
over the
body's
fact.
hot, y'all.
I'm
He's
telling
hot.
y'all, like, this is really,
Yeah,
that's why I
yeah.
really.
He's serious
I'm
about
gonna
this.
fall back.
You sure you want to watch this? You sure you want to watch
I
that special?
don't. I'm gonna have to watch it pacing.
I don't think you want to watch it.
You
Then.
got to watch it in segments.
I'm not watching it with you. I'm glad you ain't got my phone number. Don't call me.
My goodness.
See it? He didn't even see it. He's like, this.
His body's physically
So
hot.
you don't want to see it.
Okay.
It's a
If you
4-hour
were Whitney
series.
personally,
It's a
my
4-hour
God.
series.
Yo, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you.
Bobby's
Prayer,
got
hands
beat
up
up.
for me.
Series, man.
Bobby would have got beat up if
But
you
you know
knew him
what?
personally.
I agree with the caller in the fact that he told his story,
Right.
And
he told his
it
story.
seemed like he was really wanting more from the relationship and was hurt the fact that Janet didn't want to claim him in public, and so that seemed like part of his.
Interesting. I gotta
hurt.
see this.
Yeah, that was part of his.
So
hurt.
that's actually in there. He's talking about Janet defamating her character. She's
like,
is a character Janet in there.
Yeah, there's a character Janet in there. He bought her car and everything.
Listen, spoiler alert. We should have got a spoiler alert. We probably have said too much
Look, I'm
already
shaking.
because now this is
And they do it too.
Yeah.
And,
Now I'm getting ready to roll on it.
Wait.
Give me some room.
We
Now y'all playing.
We said too much.
Yeah, we did.
said too much.
To Derek's wife at
You
home.
should not
let
tell.
him watch this movie by himself, girl. Free yourself. It's cool.
Oh, you not going.
They know better. They let them make me watch the funeral by myself. Everybody cleared the room, okay? So imagine
They
this.
already know. They
I'm
already
gonna be
know.
talk to the TV, y'all. So it's gonna be all y'all. Come on, why
I
y'all do
believe
me
you
like
now.
that?
But it was Bobby's story. He
It was
told
Bobby's
his
story.
story.
It was his
But
story.
I know it's his story. But my thing is, should you really kiss and tell? If she didn't want her business out there, do the other person have the right to put the business out there? It's not like she did something to him besides break his heart. You know what I'm saying? People.
It's his story.
I think a man it's tacky for a man to kiss and tell. Woman, like,
Right.
I was with, but a man, you
Right.
talking about your on your, it just
And so my thing is, the purpose of you putting your relationship out there with Janet was for what?
to sell this
Promotion.
movie.
Right.
You knew she's hot and still popping right now. She's
'Cause
on tour.
I think that was really the
You
the
want her
big
to talk.
surprising
Right,
thing,
right.
that was out there
Everybody.
for everybody.
Okay.
It was like, okay, Bobby, what can you put out there that make people want to watch? What's the juicy thing? Because when you write a
'Cause we
book,
really
that's what they want to
already know
know.
the story.
Right?
And Janet and Whitney never liked each other. That's why she kind of lightweight messed with Michael Jackson. Y'all don't know Whitney with Michael was an item.
Man, I
She
don't
went
think
to
they
a
did. I don't think Michael did much though.
But you know how y'all Leos can be very alluring.
What you think they did?
She got him the Neverland Rat and started.
Y'all,
hold on.
Y'all talk about legends now. Y'all, we
I don't think they did much.
I don't know, lady.
I don't even think him and Lisa Marie did much besides kiss on stage.
And he didn't want to do that.
Leave Michael alone.
didn't
Y'all might they say Michael was a freak now.
Kiss.
He would change that voice and everything during the
said that?
romantic time.
Who said that?
In his
They
mind.
say that he
I
was
think
a
Michael
freak.
was
freak.
dope
Hey.
in his mind. In his mind.
Brooke Shields.
Brooke
see
Shields.
y'all.
No, bubbles.
Here we go.
Not Bubbles.
Yeah.
See,
I don't
we
know.
going
I
off.
mean-
We going off the rails right now. This is part of the show that's just going off the
Yeah, we
rails.
kinda-
We
We
didn't
need to
win
call
out.
it to get us
Sorry.
back online.
Yeah. Somebody call in.
Somebody call in.
Give us a call.
Get us back on focus.
916-226-9226.
Really?
Who do you think Michael was with?
Right.
But yeah, I think the kiss and tell.
I don't think the kids that
Bobby
played
Whitney
the
and
music-
Bubbles.
Who are we talking about? Because somebody.
And don't y'all say McCall, okay?
Oh,
No,
And he had the most action.
I think it probably was all him to himself, most likely. But
Okay. I do have a confession to make. Michael was a cool dude. I did know Michael when I was younger, so he was a cool dude. So I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna say that.
when you was around.
I was 13. Michael and I became friends when I was 13 years old at the height of Thriller. So yeah, and he was a cool dude. He didn't really talk with that real soft voice that you saw. He did have some bass to his voice.
bass, huh?
Yeah, he did have bass to his voice. Whole family was nice. Janet was nice.
Everybody
Marlon
was
was nice.
cool.
Everybody was cool. So I
that
will.
says a lot about the industry.
Yeah,
That's
so I
terrible.
will. Reedy
But-
was nice and great family. So you know what I mean. I was put on
Industry
some
will destroy
on
you,
some
bruh.
secrets. If I wanted to do a book, I could do a book from what Michael told me, but I've never discussed it. I don't know why he would tell me all that
So you
stuff.
being
just
Janet
But he
right
did.
now.
But he
Pull
did.
it out. Now you holding
But he
it.
did.
You got that. You holding it. Not in it now.
She holding it.
Hi, you live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Stephen Parker.
Hey, Stephen, how are you?
I am. Something laughing.
Come
Tell
on,
the
Steven.
truth.
Come on, Steven.
Tell the truth.
Michael Jackson and Bubbles. Y'all wrong for that.
That was lady.
That's all it's fun.
Ooh, that's why this is a night show.
Lady Charmaine, you said you didn't think he was doing no damage when it came to all them other people. That's wrong.
Just with no action.
I was
No
with you, though.
action, Jackson.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh no.
I don't think so either. But listen, I'll say this. I think that, when it comes to books and movies and, even when you look at Trump and the book that just came out with him, Omarosa, and the other gentleman, I mean, you have to have stuff that people are interested in, and you got to have a little dirt. I mean, if you ain't got no dirt, people ain't going to
Unfortunately.
buy the book or watch the movie.
Right,
So,
correct.
I think the Bobby Brown biopic biopic was pretty interesting. I mean, a lot of stuff that a lot of people didn't know.
Right.
You know, and it was pretty interesting.
And it was, you know what I mean? It was a good story. He let us in on a few things, but I think that was the height of the movie, him and the Janet Jackson relationship, and even just watching him go through the withdrawals when he was in, when he was in jail, that was interesting to see what he had to go through. So it was definitely very, very, very interesting. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate your call. Oh, go ahead.
No, I would just want to. I saw him on an interview the other day, and he had just talked about how he's just happy to be alive through all of that. And a lot of us went through a lot of things. And I think, Bobby just sharing his life and all the death that was around him during that time, was pretty deep for him. And I'm just glad he's around to tell his story. And I'm praying that another season of his life will allow him to grow and help other people in their lives.
Right. Amen. And I totally agree with that. Yeah. I totally agree with that. Thank you so much, Stephen, for calling in.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know if
Bye-bye.
I don't know if I agree with Stephen. I would have sure loved to see Whitney still walking his earth. Because you think about it, the way Bobby Brown was going, I thought he was going to die. I did. Nobody could have told me he wasn't going to be dead 3 years after 2013. He had a record. He was on dope real bad, in and out of rehab. We had Whitney was doing her thing, but we never really know. We seen the sweat. We knew she canceled this, but we never really know. She was really private. But Bobby's was just out there.
You know when she did Michael Jackson's was it 30th
anniversary? That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Came out.
That's when she had to go on Diane Sawyer and defend herself.
Wait.
Everybody went.
And then when she was in bed, Bobby Brown.
That was the train
Hell
wreck.
to the no.
That was
Yes,
a train
it was.
wreck.
Yeah.
And she did that again, diminishing her character, trying to dim her light for him. Because he said, okay, man, I need you on this, baby. Ain't nobody going to watch it and just me.
You need to watch the movie because they also have it in there as well.
See,
when they were taking Bobby Brown. Oh, look at
you know what?
You don't know Bobby.
You know what?
I'm holding down.
You know what?
I'm holding down.
What Bobby did, though, which I can appreciate, is that he oversaw the production of his own movie.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And he told it in his words and his way. And I wish that more of our stars would do that while they're living, because it gives a sense of credibility to your story when you're telling it, and you're overseeing who's playing it and what's being said in the dialogue,
and you're on the set.
You're okay with the kiss and tell,
right?
Actually, because to me,
really kiss and tell. I'm not.
To me, it showed the closeness of the relationship and what he wanted from the relationship that he didn't get, and where his mindset was. Now, granted, it could have been done in a different way, but I think the drama was there. The insight. I mean, I was going by. Charmaine was watching it. I was taking a step. I looked at it and I stopped. I was paused. I was like, "What's going on?"
Let's see. The cold part about it is that in the movie when he was with Janet, he also had his baby mama pregnant.
Yeah. He had. He was all over the place.
Same with Whitney.
He was all over the place.
He's telling.
So
his story.
He was telling his
story.
But
I wish more people would. I mean,
oversee
their story to give that credibility to what you're watching, because you know that they're saying that this is
and those are the ones that I like. Yes. I don't like when what's her name, Wendy Williams did the one with Aaliyah.
Horrible.
When other people tell their stories, I like what's love got to do with it. When you're on that set and you're telling your story, I know that's you telling your story and not somebody else, because they went and interviewed a bunch of different people, a bunch of friends, and, you know what I mean, or people that think they know you, and then you
because everybody's perspective is
different.
Right,
exactly. You put this movie together, and there's not a lot of truth in it. But when they are in it.
What about the Dream Girls and the Five Heartbreaks that depicted? We knew the Temptations and the Supremes, but what do you think about movies like that, to where they're acting like it's not them, but it was them? Because they never said that was the Supremes.
Their storyline, but different characteristics.
Because when I talked to Robert Townsend 2 weeks ago, I thought it was a story of the Dells, and he said, "Well,
that's what I did hear that."
And he said, that's what a lot of people think. So I think it's a story maybe of a couple groups kind of like meshed together. And that's why I want to go see.
That makes sense,
right? Okay. And I just looked up the making of the Five Heartbeats, but it's at an AMC theater that's in the Bay Area. It's not here in Sacramento, because I want to go and actually see the making of it.
To see the making of it?
Yeah, that's why he was on the show, to talk about the making of the Five Heartbeats. So he made it into a documentary.
Yeah, it was good.
And so he said 10,000 people auditioned for those roles in the Five Heartbeats. And he said a lot of celebrities. He said when you see the movie, you even see the celebrities that even auditioned to be in the Five Heartbeats.
Oh wow! Okay.
That must have been at the end of y'all interview. Was it?
I don't know. It was
'Cause I
in there
must have
somewhere.
missed that.
Yeah, it was in there. If you go
I had
back,
to
and
come
go-
back. Now, I will
yeah,
rewatch
Now go
it.
to my now, if you go to my Instagram page, you'll be able to see the 1 minute clips, and he talks about that in one of those 1 minute clips as well.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. There go ahead.
I
If
like
you want to go watch clips, just go to I
Y'all
am
know
Lady
watch
Charmaine on
that.
Go ahead,
Instagram.
go ahead. There you go.
Y'all need to be watching all them interviews.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, go and check out the clips.
Yes.
But and it's funny because like talking about these artists, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people I've had personal, interactions with. Now I remember firsthand. I remember when I was in the room with Bobby and his brother, and I've never seen a duffel bag full of joints in my life.
Duffel
Big
bag
old
full of
duffel
joints.
bag, pre-rolled up joints. They was ready for the road. Yeah,
Did you
so
hear that, Derek?
and just the conversations that I would hear, just being a fly on the wall. That people, just it was just a trip just to see. This industry is something. Is
Yeah, I
something
bet.
else. So yeah, they would have a little pre. Yeah, I said it, Bobby.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
right.
had-
She did.
But it was weed then. It was before you did the whole coke thing. But anyway, but
good,
yeah,
you good.
yeah. But yeah, he had a duffel bag full of pre-rolled joints and stuff. They was ready for the road. I must say, it was just real interesting.
Wow.
But anyway, I want to thank
Amazing.
everybody for tuning in to Hot Topics
Oh,
with
we're over
Lady
already?
Charmaine.
I know,
Yes,
I'm like,
can you
wait a
believe it? An
minute.
hour goes by really, really, really fast.
Super quick.
We want to say thank you to all those that called in, and thank you to my wonderful, wonderful peeps. Y'all know who you are. My
Yeah.
husband
All
Joe,
right. All right.
my girl Marie, and also the hair hustler,
Yeah.
Mr.
The
Derek
team.
Dennis.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, people want to follow you guys on social media. Where can they find you?
You can find me right here on Thursday, 7 o'clock.
That's
right.
I love that. That's so awesome. Clap It Up movement on Facebook, and just Riri loves you on Instagram. Since my Instagram been kind of popping lately.
All right.
That's right.
So
All that food you be cooking on there. Give me some of them bananas.
Jeez.
And Derek?
Well, every 30 night, just like Brother Joe. You can
Every
find me
30
here.
night.
I mean Thursday night. I'm tight time.
Dark 30.
Lady Charmaine live here on 7 o'clock.
True.
You better tune in, or else you're missing a lot. And then on Instagram under the Hair Hustler and Facebook under Derek Dennis. Thank
Well,
you.
all right. And you can also follow me on social media at I am Lady Charmaine, and also on YouTube. If you want to watch any past videos, go to Lady Charmaine TV, and on Facebook, Lady Charmaine Live. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can get the notifications when we go live, and also join our Facebook group. It's Hot Topics Real Talk No Chaser. We want to make sure that you guys join us in the Hot Topics group. If you have a hot topic, we would definitely love to hear from all of you
Yes,
right
please.
there on Facebook as well. We love you guys, and I want to thank all of you guys for watching the Lady Charmaine live show, Hot Topics. Be sure to tune in and next Thursday. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.